Hello, everybody. I'm Lakshman Wimalasena, a lecturer in Human Resource Management at Edinburgh Business School, Heriot-Watt University. In this short video, I'm going to provide you with a brief overview of managing diversity in business, a course I deliver, which is also called Diversity Management or Diversity and Inclusion. This introductory note includes themes such as what diversity means, why it matters, and the key topic areas. At the outset, I would like to mention that the subject matter we are going to address in this video and in this subject is very sensitive, critical, and radical in nature. So the learners must be broad-minded, empathetic, patient, and accommodating. Therefore, the very nature of the subject makes it more interesting and intriguing to learn. Over the years, I have had many students coming to me to say that their thinking has transformed, even though they were very confused and wary about the subject at the very beginning. That's the greatest joy for me as a lecturer to hear that. It is a great feeling to have learners who are passionate about the area of equality and diversity. Now, let me start with some facts. In relation to the British context, which I am sure are also relevant in other contexts and countries as well. Think about these. Only about 17% of the IT jobs are held by women. Over 75% of companies pay men higher than women. And there is no sector in which women get paid higher than men. People with Pakistani, Chinese, and Indian names are approximately 30% less likely to be invited for an interview than candidates with an English-sounding name. One in every LGBTIQ individual has left their jobs because the work environment was not welcoming. UK professionals, this is including all races and ethnicities, including white population, who are working in law, accountancy, and finance sectors, whose parents did manual jobs or were unemployed, earn 20% less than the colleagues from upper middle class backgrounds. There are about 11 million disabled people in the UK, and their employment is 30% less than non-disabled people. And if you're from Black minority ethnic background, you are 3 times likely to be excluded from school, more likely to be unemployed, more likely to live in poverty, more likely to be physically restrained in police custody, and more likely to be prosecuted and sentenced. These examples, to some extent, relate to the key topic areas we discuss or the social groups that are targeted in this subject that we call minority individuals or minority social groups. They are the focus of this course. While the focus is mainly upon the British and European context, for the purpose of narrowing down the discussions, the learnings will be applicable across all countries and contexts, and delivery is targeted at an international audience. In line with the British and European human rights and legal provisions, the UK Equality Act 2010 stipulates 10 aspects as protected characteristics. That include sex, sexual orientation, religion. Let me go into the slide as well. Sex, sexual orientation, religion and belief, gender, reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, race and ethnicity, age, pregnancy, maternity, and disability, making it an offense to directly or indirectly discriminate individuals relating to these characteristics. The set of lectures covered in this course directly and indirectly addresses the issues pertaining to those protected characteristics and provides theoretical and methodological understanding of required knowledge to unpack the critical nature of diversity, equality, and inclusion. To be very specific, let me quickly share the key topics we will be discussing for this subject includes the concept of discrimination. We will consider, for example, making decisions in our personal life or managing people that entail discriminating against some individuals. Selecting a best friend or the most suitable person for a vacancy means you have to discriminate against some others, but they are acceptable forms of discrimination. However, if you reject an applicant solely because they belong to one or more of those protected characteristics or belonging to minority groups, that's when unfair discrimination happens. We will identify and understand who belong to minority social groups, such as women, Black and minority ethnic people, minority ethnic women, LGBTIQ individuals, religious minorities, disabled people, and so on and so forth. Next, the area of gender is one of the central underlying concepts or topics in this subject, the understanding of which is vital across all the topics we will be discussing and intersects with all the other diversity aspects, for example, with race, sexuality, religion, age, and social class, etc. This concept will inform critical understanding of how hegemonic forms of masculinity lead to creating gendered practices of work and gendered work cultures that marginalize women and other minority individuals. Family-friendly policies and work-life balance policies. The workplace initiatives to acknowledge diversity is another key topic area. Here, while understanding what has been done by the state and the organizations, we will critically understand how some of the options available, such as part-time working, have been misused by employers in the interests of the business rather than benefiting those minority groups. We will explore how gendered expectations, practices, and cultures have made those in need of flexible working to develop low sense of entitlement of their rights and opportunities in trying to comply with the demands of the masculine, gendered, rigid work structures and cultures. Ethnic minority women and their experience is another key area, as their circumstances are more complex and more constraining and disadvantaged than many other individuals, intersected by class, gender, race, ethnicity, and religion, even bisexual orientation. And researchers suggest that they live in two different worlds, being subjected to bicultural stress constantly. Another key topic involves the critical analysis of the human resource management's role in ensuring equality and diversity. We will consider a few most established HRM models, such as Guest's model, and critically look at the rhetoric and reality of HRM and argue, while some progress has been made, there is so much to do because human resource management actually has failed to live up to its expectations or promises. A discussion also entails men and masculinities. This will help us to understand men's world or men's club and their role in either reproducing or transforming the established gendered practices within social, cultural, and occupational domains. In this topic, we will also discuss gender binary and performativity to understand how social norms and discourses surrounding expectations, behaviors, and choices are socially constructed, leading to a discussion on different forms of masculinity, such as positive masculinity and evil forms of masculinity. Another contemporary topic we discuss relates to digital manifestations of discrimination, which we will discuss under a topic called online othering, to critically understand how women and other minority social groups such as ethnic, sexual, religious minorities, and individuals living with disability may be subjected to harassment, discrimination, and exclusion within digital outlets, such as social media. Business case for diversity. Businesses can use diversity in the interests of businesses. Diversity as a business advantage. Diversity can help businesses meet the requirements of local economies as well as that of other economies. The rest of the course will include an unconscious bias training session jointly conducted with university's equality partner and a series of tutorial seminars offering vast opportunity to engage in discussions, asking questions and clarifications. Lectures also include 2 guest lectures given by industry experts, diversity practitioners. The course will provide guidance in key and additional reading recommendations too. Those who aspire to become good managers, practitioners, and citizens will benefit from this course by learning to be critical about and questioning our beliefs, leading to rethinking, redefining, and revising those beliefs and perceptions, ultimately challenging taken for granted biased social action. You will find new labels to identify such neglected or taken for granted aspects of social reality and come to understand addressing unconscious and conscious discrimination and unfair treatment does matter. Then at the end, you will be one such individual who will actively make a difference. Perhaps not in a radical manner, but slow, steady, minor, and incremental changes within familial, occupational, socio-cultural, as well as even in political domains. We will begin to question stereotypes and our unconscious biases. One final note. Take a moment to think about your very initial impressions about me when you saw me on camera and heard my accent. What kind of a judgment you already unconsciously or consciously made? Are they good or bad? I hope they are good. Usually, stereotypes about race and ethnicity are almost always negative. Our subconscious influences the way we make decisions of the world around us. Recognizing our biases means we can tackle them. The course will help us tackle our subconscious getting in the way of making an effective decision as managers and as good citizens. This course aims to provide an overall experience of diversity and inclusion consisting of methodological, theoretical, conceptual, and practical knowledge so that you will be ready to take up jobs within increasingly diverse international occupational outlets such as well as become good, responsible citizens. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing you all in my course. Best wishes.